Good evening and welcome once again to the Spider's Web, and today we're going to be having a quick playthrough of the Dungeons and Dragons adventure system board game Castle Ravenloft. Now I know there's probably a few of these videos out there on YouTube land, but I'm going to have a go myself. So what we're playing is going to be the first adventure, which is a solo adventure. It's called Escape from the Tomb. I've already picked my character, which is going to be the the Dragonborn fighter. So there is stats. He's got an armor class of 17. He's got a hit points of 10. He's got a speed of 5. Surge value of 5. I'm able to protect friends from other heroes on the same tile as me. That doesn't apply in this case. And for powers, I can use Dragon's Breath anyway, which is one of the daily powers, which gives me an attack of +4. And it does not count as an attack action, which is handy. But unfortunately, again, it's a one-shot deal. And then I'm allowed 2 at-will powers. Now it gives you some idea at the beginning of the book, of the adventure book, of which utility powers to go for. So I've just basically gone for those, just for the sake of this video. I'll go for those. So this is the first one I've got, which is Cleave, and it says, if you hit, choose another monster on your tile and move adjacent to it. That monster takes 1 damage. Will be handy. The next one is Tide of Iron, and it, if you hit, place that monster, if it isn't destroyed, on a tile within 1 tile of you, and you can move to any square on your tile, and that's got an attack of +8. We have a daily power, which is Precise Strike. If you miss, do not flip this card over, so I can use it again and again and again until I hit. And it's got a +11 attack, and it causes 2 damage. Dragon's Breath we've seen, and the final one is a utility power, which is called Unstoppable. Uses power at the start of my hero phase, and now we gain 2 hit points. So that will be handy for when things start going wrong. I'm not saying if things start going wrong. This is Dungeons and Dragons adventure board game system. When things start going wrong. Okay, so for those of you who are unaware of these games, I'll give you a quick run through of the rules. Usually you will get a double tile. This is just like a 1-piece tile. The start tile, I haven't got the one for this one handy, but it's usually a double tile, and it's usually got a staircase somewhere along it, and you gather around the staircase and then go and explore from there. You will see a pile of bones here. Used to think they're a pile of bones. Not like a pile of bones, skulls rather. Any monsters that get spawned always spawn on one of these, unless there's something already occupying that square, and then you can put the monster anywhere on the board. This white triangle, you will get either white or black, and what that means is when I move my figure to the edge of the board, I can then explore, which means taking a tile off the top of this, flipping it over and placing it down arrow point to arrow point. If it's a white triangle, all I'll place down is a monster, which are generated from these monster cards. If, however, it's a black triangle, not only do you get a monster, you also get an encounter. Encounters, they're bad. They're very bad. There's not many good ones in there. In fact, I don't think there's any good ones in there. I think the good ones are really a case. I think it's a case of with the good ones, they're just not as bad as the other ones. Whenever you kill, or whenever you're attacking, what you would do is choose one of these attacks. On the card, say the Tide of Iron. You would roll your d20, and whatever roll you get, you would add your attack value to it. So for example, I get an 8, I add the 8 to it, that makes 16, and then I will just get a monster card at random from the deck, and the monster is a spider. Surprise. And here you'll see an armour class and hit point value. You can put your dice roll with your modifier to the armour class there. If it's equal to or higher, you've beat it and you cause whatever damage it says there. So in this case it's just 1 hit point. Then you would take the monster off, but you would put this card aside. The reason being is on each one you get experience. So for killing this one you would get 2 experience points. Experience points are important. With experience points, when you get 5 you can do one of 2 things given the chance. You can, if you turn over an encounter card and it's something that's really bad, I'm going to flick through and find one. Here we go. It's not a really bad one, but you'll get them in different colours. You know the really bad ones because it's the red. And what you tend to do, mind you, event attack. Let's see if we can find a better one than that to show you. The really bad ones, sorry. The environment cards, which are a purple colour. Sorry, and these last throughout the game until you turn another one over. And when you turn another one over, you discard this one and put the next one down, which could be slightly better or slightly worse. But if you have 5 experience points, as soon as you turn this over, you can discard it for the 5 experience points, and that will go back in the deck. And I will shuffle the deck so you know that I'm not organising anything. So I'm not a very good shuffler, and if that's the first one that comes out, it's just purely coincidence. Yeah, so that's one thing you can do with the 5+ points. If you're attacking and on the D20 you roll a 20, you can spend 5 experience points to upgrade your hero. So you can go from level 1, which has an armour class of 17 in this case, to an armour class of 18. From 10 hit points to 12 hit points. Your speed stays as 5, and your surge value is 6 hit points. Now your surge value, when you've lost all your hit points the first time, you've got a healing surge. That healing surge gets turned over so you know you've used it. The second time you get knocked unconscious or you lose all your hit points, you're dead. But when you turn it over, you get 5. With this one, you get 5 hit points back, so you can start playing again. Okay, the hit points. In my little plastic tub here, I've got all the games, so all the bits and pieces, all the tokens are in here from all the games. The hit point tokens from I don't know which ones are which, but each one looks like that. I think the Castle Ravenloft one has a black back. The Wrath of Asherdalon is same both sides, and the Legend of Drist has a little, like an explosion emblem on the back. So we start off with 10 hit points. Now you can either leave your card blank and whenever you get a hit point put it on, but I prefer to fill it up with hit points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I fill the picture up, and when I get hit I take it off. It's just so I can, it just makes it easier for me to concentrate on what's happening. Okay, next. During the game you're fighting various different monsters, which are all down here. Well, you can see them there. These are the monsters. Some of them have various effects that they can play on you. So, especially things like spiders or other things can actually poison you so much that you can either be immobilised or slowed. These basically, when you get them, you're told you get them, you just place them on your board like so, so you know that they're there, and you discard that card, or you discard this token or that one depending on which one you are, at the beginning, sorry, at the end of your hero phase. So immobilised, you can't move. Slowed, your speed is slowed down to 2 spaces. Also, you can see another small set of cards here. These are my spare utility powers at will power and daily power. Every now and again, or whenever you're fighting something, you defeat them, you pick a treasure card, which are here. They can be anything, from equipment to play immediately cards where it can give you a boost of some description, or one of them will actually allow you to flip over a card, one of these daily or utility powers that you've used. But also you'd need these as well if you choose to upgrade your character to level 2. Oh, line of sight. When it comes down to battling line of sight, there's no such thing. In this, you automatically assume that if there's a monster on the board, you can see it. The only thing you can't move is through monsters or through walls. Obviously, if it was like a 2, 3, 4, 5 player game, you can still move through a square containing one of your another hero figure, but you can't stop on that square. But you can't move through a monster figure, so they would block you. I don't think there's anything else. Well, that's the basic. I think that's covered the basic rules for the entire game. Now, this particular mission is slightly different. You don't usually get this, but this is just for this mission. You've got a token called a sun, and basically this is a time track, and whenever I turn a card over, or whenever I turn one of the dungeon tiles over to place the new tile for move in the exploration phase, if it's a white triangle, I wouldn't just put a monster on it, I would move this up 1. When it gets to 5, then the big nasty boss wakes up, the Strahd, and I wouldn't really say big nasty boss, but that's the figure of Strahd, the vampire. He wakes, and then he can come into play. So, as I said, I think that is all the basics that I need to go through. I've mentioned treasure cards for when you've defeated a monster. Oh, I haven't mentioned that no matter how many different monsters you beat in your turn, you can only draw one treasure card for a kill. So if there's like 3 monsters on, you've got a special magic spell or special weapon that allows you to kill, that allows you to attack 3 or 4 monsters, and you kill more than one at the same time, you can still only pick up 1 card. You can't pick up 1 for each monster you kill. Okay, so I think that is it. So I'll leave it there, and in the next video I will start it off with the introductory text, so explain everything what we have to do, and then we'll get playing. Okay, so until next time, take care, God bless, bye for now.